Welcome back to Richo Woodworking. We're actually on the set of Richo Hobby and Art because I want to show you these two wrenches. The two wrenches came from the Gagnon chest. You may remember the Alfred Gagnon machinist chest that I acquired back in May of 2022. Put out a couple of videos on that. And so I had promised to one day talk about these and never got around to it. So these are two wrenches, very different wrenches that were in that chest. We'll start with this one. This is a 6-inch adjustable S wrench with locking mechanism of the Tomlinson design. It's from the Billings and Spencer Company of Hartford, Connecticut. There's a B in a triangle, if that means something to you. On the reverse, it says it's treated steel forging 6-inch. And then it has a piece that you move and the mouth opens and closes. It's a very interesting piece. It was a lot more rusty, corroded when I first acquired it, and I've cleaned it since. And so some of this is now a little more legible than it was originally. According to some things I found online, because it says the Billings, Spencer and Company, it suggests that it was made between 1915 and 1926. Based on a 1904 patent. But it seems like that B in a triangle may mean something too. If you know a little more about this, let me know. The direct history of this is that it belonged to a Frank Russell, who was a conductor on the Burlington, Vermont trolley system. And so a relative of his is who gave me the machinist chest, and so he was delighted to see that that this is part of the tools. They weren't sure how it got into, so it didn't belong to Alfred Gagnon, it belonged to Frank Russell, but there was still a relation there at some point, and so anyway, this was used for, so it's not a specific railroad mechanic wrench, but it was used by one during the time of its life. The second wrench is a Moore Stillson drop forging 7-inch pipe wrench from Springfield, Massachusetts. There are several of these online, but I could not find any that had exactly the same writing here and with a screw holding the wooden handle on. So I will say, so it's got information in here, but then it's got lettering along the sides. And of course, you can't see that in this particular view. You might see it, I don't know. But it was hard for me to even see just, with my naked eye. The wooden part does come off of the handle, and I took these off and I did a corrosion treatment to the steel, to the metal here, and then cleaned this with mineral spirits and then put some wax on it. So just a very small, not a huge restoration, just enough to make it, easy to look at. And of course, this was all waxed with that same wax, microcrystalline wax. There's still a little corrosion here, but it's not active enough to be a problem. So again, you've got a mouth here. This thing will turn. You can open it, close it, just like a pipe wrench would work. I've never actually used this, and I have not used this one either. They came with the machinist chest, and I just kind of cleaned them up and left them alone. There is something up here. I can't tell what that is. It looks like an N, and maybe it is an N, but I can see that from here. I'm not looking at that. I can't see that directly under a magnifying glass. If you know any more detailed information about either of these wrenches, please let me know in the comments. So otherwise, it's a couple neat little wrenches that came in a machinist chest that I got from a friend of mine a couple years ago. Thanks for watching.